to introduce to you Professor Amani Lubis from Indonesia to give us a lecture on teaching and learning Islam during and beyond the pandemic. Professor Amani Lubis is a famous Indonesian Muslim woman scholar, and she is also the first woman to be appointed as the director of the largest Islamic university in Indonesia called Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University, Jakarta. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And also she served as important positions in many Muslim organizations in Indonesia, even in an organization called Forum for Promoting Peace here in Abu Dhabi. As all of you know, that we had a tough 2 years because of COVID-19 pandemic, but I think learning and teaching never stopped, even during the pandemic. Today, we will hear from Professor Amani to share her expertise and insight and experience on how learning and teaching Islam is happening during this uncertain time. So without further ado, Professor Amani, please.
Thank you very much, Brother Chai Xiaojin.
Recording in progress.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasul.
Thank all of the organizers from the World Muslim Communities Council in Abu Dhabi for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to meet you all virtually. And let me talk in Arabic because I prepare my presentation in Arabic. Thank you very much. So, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
All the praise to Allah. I would like to thank the World Muslim Communities Council in Abu Dhabi for their kind invitation to deliver this virtual webinar at this occasion. And I will speak about teaching and learning Islam during this pandemic. And I will focus on in the context in Indonesia, inshallah. I will share my screen. This is a group of islands, the Indonesian archipelago, 17,000 islands. These are the main islands. Here is drawn, but Indonesia has 3 different timings. So in the west it's 7, in the middle of Indonesia it's 8, and in the east it's 9. So it's very wide. And all the praise to Allah. The number of population is around 280 million. And it's very diverse country from an ethical perspective, environmental perspective, and in everything. Very diverse. So Allah gave us this very nice very nice islands, and the people living here. So we are here. People are following different religions, and Islam is 88%. We have 6 official religions from the Indonesian government: Islam, Catholic, Protestant, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucian. And also we have many traditional cultures. And all thanks and praise to Allah, it's a stable country. Even though during this pandemic, there was a great impact from the health aspect, but we are recovering very fast, and we are dealing with the different consequences for this pandemic. We are also preparing for the era after this pandemic. So we are using smart equipment and devices, also artificial intelligence in all aspects of life, even the education. Here, I would like to talk about this map, as we are talking about education. We want to guarantee the continuity of Islam teaching, and also to guarantee the future of the Islamic civilization. This goal we want to meet in the future as Indonesia or all the other countries all over the world. The human civilization need to continue, develop, and also strengthen, even though this pandemic weakened some of the foundation. So the Islamic civilization, we are very optimistic that it will flourish. But because of this pandemic, we are avoiding all the challenges. So in Indonesia, these islands in east of Asia, after that East Asia, also the Gulf countries, Europe. There is also Australia, and all the world now. They are facing this pandemic and the different consequences. But there is an international cooperation in all these countries to cooperate and also to mitigate the consequences. We need to support each other, especially in the field of vaccination, in order to get rid of this pandemic and this COVID-19 virus. Now there is a new strain, which is Omicron, very fast spread. And inshallah, with this vaccination, we will manage to get rid of this pandemic. Very quickly, I will talk how Islam got in Indonesian islands. It went through the trade, Arabic trade, and the sailors the Arab sailors and merchants through the sea, and that was very old. Trade never stopped long time ago between these islands, China, Asia, Africa, Europe, thousands of years ago. And in the history, in Islam started since the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Many people, many Arab people used to live in Sumatra. So we have the history, and as we can see some maps from the ships, Indonesian ships, which going through the sea and the international water to trade spices and products thousands of years ago. So it's a never stop trade. So these ones they are available in Indonesia islands through trade, as we say. Also about the people who come to invite Indonesians for Islam. From the Arab people, from Mecca, a lot of people, from Al-Madinah also, from Yemen, and from the other countries like India, China, and also Persia, to interact with the original populations. So we have aid, trade, invitation, marriage, education, culture, policy, especially here, art, and also what we call it at-tasawwuf. So all of this helped in spreading Islam all over Indonesia, as the Holy Quran said, which supports spreading Islam in a peaceful way all over the world. As we know, there used to be also military campaigns to defend the Muslims in Africa or in the Arabian Peninsula. But in Indonesia, it was very peaceful through all these methods. So the Holy Quran verse, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يهدي به الله من اتبع رضوانه سبل السلام ويخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور بإذنه ويهديهم إلى صراط مستقيم. Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 16, and it indicates Islam spread with peace. Now I will talk about Islam teaching. What is the future of Islam teaching in Indonesia, and also it can implement in any other country all over the world? The first idea, it cope up with all era, and it can also be suitable for any generation, and also it go along with reality. So it's suitable for every age, and it's suitable for any generation and any reality of life. We know that Islamic Sharia is based on two foundations. The first one, the Holy Quran, which indicate the correct path and also the clear verses. And secondly, the Sunnah, which is comprehensive for all the blessings and also for all the happiness of humanity in this life and in the second life. And here's also, we talk about Sunnah is everything that Prophet Muhammad said or did, and we need to follow and to refer back and work with it. And this Sharia managed to provide an evidence about its validity and ability when it was implemented in the real reality. As we can see during this pandemic, we talk about the Islamic teachings. It's going along with the reason. There is emergency and circumstances, and Islamic Sharia here help the Muslims and the humanity in giving the best way of life in their way of living, in their worshipping style, and in their humanity way. For Islamic studies is very important in the community, and that can be seen in different organizations and entities. And it's not abstract. It developed, and it's really living according to how the community is developing in order to be modern, and it also to meet all the needs of the humanity at any time, any place. Also, we talk about the fiqh of the family, the fiqh of economy, Islamic economy, according to the different times, and also the fiqh of emergency. During this pandemic, as we can see, for the rituals and for how we worship Allah. So it's a great flexibility that is suitable for any time and any place. As we are talking about a very fast-changing world, where there is a lot of movement and civilization, and with many challenges, we need to establish and to lay down the foundation of Islamic education anywhere for Muslims, and how we deal with non-Muslims. There should be peaceful coexistence. We can develop the style of Islamic with the way of thinking and the diverse, how we think about the same place. So coexistence, there should be a culture for the Islamic communities. The continuous development from the teachers and the Islamic education organizers, that will guarantee the continuity. We need to strengthen their capability to improve their performance, especially for the teachers. And talking about the teaching stuff in order to have the community culture. Here, we can see the maturity of Islamic comprehensive studies and also the scientific centers in all the universities and communities that will lead to harmony within the community. So I am really very sure with all the universities all around the world, with the scientific research and for the experimental field research, that will help the community. And also having scientific centers, humanitarian centers, like the Forum of Strengthening Peace, or even the World Communities Council. We all have scientific centers and also social centers that help to spread peace and harmony within the community. This picture about the foundational education in Indonesia. The system here, we have the religious Islamic system, which is affiliated to the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, and also with the public education, it's affiliated to the Ministry of Education. So we have two systems, but all the praise to Allah, Alhamdulillah. These statistics in front of us is very recent. The number of students from KG to secondary in Islamic entities, 10 millions. These are only the students. And the number of Islamic entities from KG, primary, preparatory, and secondary, there are 82,418 entity. If we put it as a statistics, we find the entities affiliated to government 4.9% only, and around 95% they are private entities spread all around Indonesia and also in all the Muslim countries. We have the Islamic education and the public education in Indonesia. The private education here is for the community and it's self-financed by the community, not from the government. So more than 95% of these entities is public. Sorry, it's private. Now, this statistics about 34 different locations in Indonesia for the universities, government and public and private. So to give you a picture about it, the governmental university that's affiliated to the Ministry of Religious Affairs, it's about 58. We have 1,799, and the number of students 400,000. For the private universities, 860. So they are more than the governmental universities, and they do their message in education. There is great communication and cooperation with the people in the community, and also with the people who operate these centers. For the scientific section in the private universities, more than 29,000 number of students. In private universities, we talk about more than 500,000. Sorry, more than 500,000, yes. So the total is more than 1 million in the university. 1 million students. About the scientific accreditation, they are very keen to get the accreditation, and 80% of these colleges and specializations, they got the academic accreditation from the Ministry of Education, and also there is academic accreditation from international organizations like the Medical College. It's an international education. In Indonesia also. So what happened in the different changes for this pandemic or during this pandemic for Islamic studies? There is major changes for the competencies. 3 years ago, we always say the main education, it's not focused on the digital education. That 3 years ago, but now the teacher's competency and university competency, it provides many digital equipment. We need also to improve the cultural competences and also the leadership competency. So we are improving the level of performance in the field of education by improving the leadership competences. For that, we have many training courses locally and internationally to improve the level. Also, I would like to indicate here how we are establishing and strengthening the Islamic education, focusing or based on coexistence. Very important value to have a valuable member of the community who benefit himself and the community. And also to prevent the individual to go left or right to extremism or to being careless. And this is very important indicator for all the people responsible about education and community guidance to protect Ummah or the generation. So the main foundation is peace and coexistence. But if the member went to extremism, and here the education and the community need to stand to face extremism, terrorism, which all the world is suffering from this extremism and terrorism on different levels, on the political, social, economical, educational level. So it's very important to give solutions, especially when we talk about the community and weakness of this community, to move, to improve the situation and to face some challenges and different phenomena and values against the humanity. So some reasons why we need to have integration between the entities, because of the challenges that the community is facing from the different intellectual transformation. Talking about education during this pandemic, we need to talk about the transformation and adaptation. All these things it needs to be focused on in order to face these challenges that the community is facing in the modern time. So talking about the transformation, the security challenges, economical challenges, and the increase of extremism within the youth, and the lack of communication between the educational entities, especially the mosques, the role of the mosque, the role of the universities, and connected with the media. There is a great impact for the educational entities on the community's member. All these sectors in the community, like education, the religious, the media, the economical, political, there should be cooperation to get rid of all these harmful ideas. Also, for the educational centers, they need to cooperate between them, not only in one country, but also with different countries to face some behavioral phenomena and to have prevention. All these problems with all the different continents, there is different problems, and how we can prevent the community from these harmful negatives. We need to strengthen the trust of the community in these centers and to improve the performance of these educational entities on a continuous basis. Inshallah. Here I would like to speak about the values that we have to strengthen in the community. 5.0 or 5.0. So the community after this pandemic. The communities who are using artificial intelligence, internet, in the field of education, like teaching remotely, we are talking about community 4.0, but 5.0, now scientists and experts say the definition here, for the definition for 5.0 community, to have an addition to what have been reached from the advanced technological and technology and commitments with the human values. So the community now, there should be a humanitarian value to be added in life. And studies showed moderation we need to strengthen in an integrated way. So there is advancement in technology, but also the humanitarian values need to advance also, like mercy, cooperation, helping the others, and fighting carelessness, and looking after the poor, especially in the community as a whole. So the technological advancement with the values, so moderation in food, drink, and also clothes. We can see there is many famines, many communities or people. They have moved from their country to different areas without their will. They need support. They need help, humanitarian assist. So moderation is very important, and also in spending, the economical policies nationally and internationally. It should indicate the interest and to minimize the spending, fighting monopoly, manipulation, especially for the nature, to get the natural resources. This is not moderation. Also, moderation in human consumption. We know the electronic trade, everyday or electronic shopping, especially after this pandemic, we need to have moderation. The community 5.0, we should have all these values of moderation. This is very important to maintain the human resources. We are living on this planet, and if we don't maintain these resources and use it in a good way, that will have negative impact on us. Another point, the importance of having a national policy or strategy to activate the cooperation with the community work, to have integration between the educational entities to spread the culture of moderation as a style of living inside and outside the country, to coordinate the efforts for real citizenship that is based on fairness and moderation on all the life aspects. As we have seen last year in December in Abu Dhabi, there was Abu Dhabi Peace Forum, and it took a motto which was very important, the comprehensive citizenship. So this can focus on the real values of humanities with the idea of comprehensive citizenship. Also, different studies talk about the activation of the role of mosques, universities, media, as it includes the biggest part of the community, and it has impact on the community positively or negatively. We need to pay attention to the mosques. In Indonesia, for example, they are only here for praying, for worshipping. But mosques, as a whole idea, we have cooperative societies, medical centers, and also learning centers. So it look after youth, males and females within these mosques. So it's not only for praying, but also to strengthen and to improve the Muslim character. Universities, very important. At the end, this is the end of my input. The role of education is very important in spreading the Islamic culture, Arabic culture in Indonesia. All the years ago, from the first years of Islam. So education is a base to spread the Islamic culture. Also, Islamic studies was developed by their talking about their researches, developing the ideas, theories, through establishing different centers, Islamic universities, and enabling the Islamic sciences, embedding it with the science to strengthen the Islamic identity. So many Islamic studies was embedded with the scientific cultures, and there is a connection between the religion and science. The integration, the knowledge integration, and embedding between the different sciences. In this way, we will benefit and benefit the others, developing the different sciences, the different researches, by embed that in science. Another idea, using the modern technology in education. As we are talking about education, Islamic education in general, especially within the time of COVID, to use the modern technology in education, distance learning. We have no option. We need to use distance learning in all locations, providing the equipment, the internet, providing electricity, and all the elements that the technology need in order to spread learning and to improve the performance of education in all the aspects of life, remotely or virtually, not face-to-face. Nowadays, the hybrid style, the hybrid education, we are using this mechanism to also adapt with the conditions of this pandemic, and after that, and thinking about the life after the pandemic or the normal life in the different aspects. At the end, the effort should not stop in spreading the speech of moderation and correcting the concepts. Moderation in everything, and to participate in the secondary diversity, tolerance. We need to tolerate in the secondary differences, not the main. From our experience, Islamic moderation is also done in the community economical aspect. And also by nature from the Indonesian populations, they like moderation. I'm talking about the morals. And they are known by that. They are very peace and tolerant. That what I wanted to share with you today in this occasion. And please, if there's any question, I'm really ready. Please forgive me for taking longer time, and thank you very much for your invitation. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Amani, for this excellent presentation. Through our excellent interpretation of Arabic English translators, I get most of your ideas. Although I wish I could understand the language, and so I can appreciate your insight much better. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for your input. We have two questions here. I'm going to read it for you. If you need, if you want answer in Arabic, or if you want like change the channel, there's interpretation button that you can change. Yeah, for the for the answer. You can, yeah. So if you answer Arabic, I will change back to the interpretation. Inshallah.
It's okay. It's okay. I can understand English or Arabic. It's okay.
Yes. So the question is, you talked about the scientific and technology readiness in order to have an effective and efficient Islamic education because of COVID pandemic, or even after COVID pandemic. We may have to utilize, harness scientific and technology capacity to advance Islamic teaching and learning. In your opinion, what is the biggest challenge for Muslim communities today to use science and technology to learn Islam? Especially, you can use the, especially Indonesia experience. Like, is it because they don't have the equipment, or they are not ready for this tours, or they are unwilling to use technology? What are the challenges?
Thank you very much. This is a very crucial question, because all of the development in our community depend on science and technology now. Yeah. So the challenge is still, I'm talking generally, that there is still poverty, and also in Indonesia we don't have illiteracy. It's just less than 1% of the population illiterate. But so the problem is poverty. They don't have enough money to have more gadget, in a family, because 2 children or 3 children studying, and then the father, the mother, so they need 5 at least in the family for mobile phone or tablet, or also computer, laptop, etc. So the biggest challenge is to provide this gadget, this equipment for studying, for researching, etc. And the other thing is about awareness. So we try to educate people, to give them literacy, digital literacy. We still need to give the people digital literacy, because some people, they don't pay enough attention to this digital use for everyday life. But still, especially we in women, for women, we are women activists, so we also address to give literacy, digital literacy awareness for women. In Indonesia, women population more than half of the Indonesian population. So we need to empower women. It's very crucial. I think in many countries also face this problem. Women should be empowered, or should be educated, and give them literacy so that they can develop for themselves, and also their family, and of course their community. And the other challenge is about the policy, governmental strategy to give equal access or justice for the people. It is also need to be scrutinized. All of the policies in the country, by the government. So I think that's some core challenges we face in giving science and technology its place in society.
Thank you, Dr. Amani. Just a follow up with this question. So if children or students got access to tablet, to internet, and did university like your university or Indonesia Muslim community had in place any measures to how to avoid the harmful impact of internet online content to students and to Muslim children? As you know, it's not only that there's all kind of un-Islamic content there, but also even some group they pretend to be Islamic, like a radical extremist ideology, also will be online. Is there any measures your government or your university or your community take to solve this problem? Or maybe you are lucky you don't have this problem yet?
No, of course we have this problem. Yeah. This is, I think it's a global problem we face. Yeah. In Indonesia, Indonesia is the third largest people of a country using internet after Brazil and India, and the third come Indonesia because of the population. It's almost 280 million people, so we come the third of using internet. And the gadget in Indonesia more than 350 million. So more than the people 280, and then we have gadget for phones, mobile phones, 350 million. So this also create a problem, but we try to have control. Yeah, we are educators. We cooperate with the government to control the social media and also the internet, for the people, for the young, for the youth, for the children. Yeah, because we need to limit the use of internet and give the awareness. The most important thing is awareness to the family, to the members of family, that they control the children to not to see the harmful thing, whether knowledge about terrorism, etc. Some content in internet teach radical things, extreme ideas. So we try to control through family. I also had in Majelis Ulama Indonesia, or Ulama Council, Indonesian Ulama Council. I chaired also the division of women, youth, and family. So we have program of family security. We try to get this idea and give the awareness to all communities that to avoid harmful things about the internet is to have family security. Family security, not just to face the technological development, but also to strengthen the family relationship, between the member of the family, so that we try to get strong families in the community, and it will be more effective to give control to such harmful things. And of course, we always have also meetings with the police and NGOs who take care about these things. Yeah, and we usually have webinar. Nowadays we have webinar, and so we can solve some of the problems by making collaboration and meeting with the respective institution. Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you to this answer. I'm glad to hear this initiatives and you have taken to counter this problem. I think the idea of community awareness through family security, through NGOs, all will be effective. And we have to learn a lot from you. Indonesia model, you know, should be a good model. So last question is, you talked about moderation. And you've, in your university and in many programs, you mentioned that teach moderation, tolerance, and peace, which actually is very essence of Islamic teaching. And also many Muslim countries and community now have been paying attention to this. In your opinion, like who are the major players in promoting tolerance and peace against extremists? Do we see, is it mosque, Muslims, scholars, or universities, or government, or families? If we have to choose one, like which area should be the most important actor for this?
Actually, all of them. All of them. Yes, yeah. Not just family, because the father or mother, the husband and wife, they don't have enough ability to teach their children to have this moderation quality. Yeah, but school, government, and media, also all of the NGOs. In Indonesia, we have also the privilege. Yeah, I consider it privilege that all members of the society in Indonesia, we belong to a certain faith-based organization. Maybe this is a new information for you, but every member of society, they belong to certain faith-based organization, whether Islam, Catholic, Protestant, or etc. So we are all under the supervision of the biggest organization, not just the government. The government cannot do everything. So the people, they have social policy. Yeah, they have social control by themselves. And the Indonesian government now implement in its planning for 5 years ahead about moderation. Moderation should be implemented not just by the religious leaders. No, it's not religious idea. Moderation is not area of religion, but moderation is we translated with justice and mercy, cooperation, and also respect to other, coexistence. This is what do we mean by moderation? So the government, obliged all of the ministries and governmental bodies and also universities to implement moderation, not in the perspective of religion, but the humanitarian perspective. So, like in the Ministry of Agriculture, for example, they should implement moderation, tolerance, justice, and all of these good values, humanitarian values in their program in the agriculture field, so that they can give best service to all of the people, justly, giving the license for plantation, giving the for example, distribution of the products, distribution of the fertilization. This should be in justice, in just way, and also in moderation way. So in Indonesia now we talk about wasatiyah or moderation, not just from the perspective of religion. So we are all responsible to implement wasatiyah or moderation, or we call it also these values about justice, tolerance, respect to others, balance, and or we translate moderation, or we use also the term of justly balanced value. So it's a must. And in our university, for example, not in ours, but in all universities, also we teach all new students this value. But we say to them that moderation, justice, tolerance, mercy, cooperation are values not new to our culture. It's not new. It's already in our traditional, in our traditions and cultures, and also religious in religious values. Also, we implement that from long time ago. But nowadays we stress, or we address more about moderation because of the challenges of the time, and also the problems, conflicts, wars, etc. So we should remind the youth, newcomers to the universities, to have moderation and to implement. And they became agents of change of the society. Thank you.
Good to hear that, again, your university and many agencies in Indonesia has taken initiative, not only implementing spreading the values of moderation, but also your practice actually enriched the meaning of tolerance and moderation to expand to more all aspects of the social life. Alhamdulillah, I think this is a very good move. Moderation is a universal value. It belongs to all humanity and all walks of life. Alhamdulillah. So with this perfect and good ending, we thanks again Professor Amani Lubis, rector of Indonesia Islamic, largest Indonesia Islamic University, bring us this wonderful lecture and good insight. We thank you, and please keep safe. And we hope to see you in person and to learn from you more in the future, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Recording stopped.
Okay, thank you, Brother Chai Sharjin. Yeah. Where are you from?
China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess
Nice
there are a lot
to
of
meet you.
Chinese in Indonesia. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Chinese, they belong to Confucianism, right? In Indonesia.
Yes. Yeah. Most of them, and Buddhism. Buddhism.
Okay. Yeah.
Buddhism. Most of the Chinese, they are Buddhism. And yeah.
Okay. So I think you had a long day. Let's find the time to have another meeting. Casually, we can discuss some of your idea you mentioned today about the toleration and about this. So we can work together. We either for the World Muslim Community Council, or if we can connect with some Chinese universities with you also too.
Okay. Yes, inshallah. I love to do that. Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Please convey my regards to all of the persons in
yes. The doctors, Dr. Bishari and Dr. Ali.
Dr. Bishari, yes, Dr. Noaimi, and many of other friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. We hope to see you soon. Yeah.
Amin. Inshallah.
Amin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Thank you all.